Hi, Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Tuesday, March the 20th. Well, yesterday Donald Trump announced his plan for dealing with the opioid crisis, and like a lot of his talk, it's about getting tough. He's going to get tough on drug dealers. He says that's the only way to stop the epidemic of drug deaths in the United States. Death penalty even for people who sell drugs. Well, that's a complicated question, of course. Do we put to death pharmaceutical companies that sell too many of their drugs? Lots of questions. But Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas stood up, as he often does, as the prime defender of Donald Trump. He said he too thought that drug dealers should get the punishment they deserve. Tough guy Tom Cotton standing tall with Donald Trump. Back home in Arkansas, no legislature has been indicted today or accused of taking bribes. How about that for a change of pace? But Monday night, the Jefferson County Quorum Court talked about what they were going to do about Hank Wilkins, their Jefferson County judge, who's a former legislator and who, it was said in federal court last week, has admitted to the FBI taking $100,000 in bribes from a former Arkansas legislative lobbyist, Rusty Cranford. The Quorum Court is going to replace Wilkins Thursday night. It looks like Booker Clemens, a former legislator himself, may be one of the ones under consideration for that job, but some other people are also interested. Well, the biggest news really in the country today, it's a huge, sprawling, and very complicated story, and it's about election hacking. It's about the use of Facebook data. It's about the use of internet to plant false stories. It's about Russian influence. It's about political operative influence, sometimes even bribery and use of prostitutes to influence politicians. The interesting thing about this story is we don't really know where it will go. It's not only about what happened in 2016, but what's going to happen in years going forward. There are Arkansas angles to this story. Axiom, the big data company in Little Rock, was one of the people that provided a lot of data to Donald Trump for his campaign that's now under scrutiny. Legal business to provide data, that's what they do, but they're in the midst of it. And Tom Cotton, our U.S. Senator, he was a beneficiary of Cambridge Analytica, now a very controversial figure in this story as well, in his own race for Senate. So there may perhaps be more Arkansas angles to this story than we know. A federal judge in Jackson, Mississippi today temporarily blocked a brand new state law in Mississippi that stops abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. That was almost a certain thing to happen. The U.S. Supreme Court precedent that says there be no bans on abortion pre-viability of the fetus is still in place, but anti-abortion forces are hoping that they'll finally find a friendly court that will roll back Roe v. Wade. Of course, Arkansas had a 12-week abortion ban struck down by court. We know how this goes. Found today some results of a survey done to the UAMS faculty on a pending proposal before the University of Arkansas Board of Trustees about changing the university's tenure policy. Faculty is not happy, and the UAMS faculty voted overwhelmingly in an honest poll to oppose the proposal as it now exists. They think it might chill freedom of expression, think it might make it hard to hire people, and otherwise depress the quality of the faculty at UAMS. Interesting story out of Baxter County last night. A deputy call was called to a remote store in Baxter County down near Mountain Home on a theft call. Saw a man riding a tractor that was reported stolen, chased him down, not too hard to chase a tractor, I don't think, stopped him, they fought. The man was carrying a crossbow. The deputy had a gun, the deputy won. He shot the man with a crossbow dead. Well, we had a fifth explosion in Texas yesterday. Or actually early this morning at a FedEx center near San Antonio, believed linked to the earlier explosions in Austin. Not much to say about this except to remind people about asymmetric terrorism and how easy it is to pick a city, any city, and how easy it is to get away with multiple bombings that do terrible damage and have police, at least in the short term, pretty confused about what to do. We can have all the nuclear arsenals in the world, but can't do much about individual crazy people who act as lone wolves in cases like this. It is a terrorizing thought. Jim Carrey, by the way, the comedian, said he was gratified by the response to the unflattering portrait he drew of Sarah Huckabee and the unflattering things he said about how she repeats lies for Donald Trump. Mike Huckabee wasn't very happy about it. Carrey caught some flack, but he's not backing down. That's what I say. Don't back down. Resist. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.